What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Tuesday Live. So today we've got something. This is not new, okay? This pedal here we're talking about today has been out for a few years, but it's new to me. All right, I'm a little bit late to the party. There's plenty of other people that have reviewed this and done it really well, but we're going to talk about it today, and we're going to explore it a little bit, and I'm going to talk about why I sort of avoided this pedal for a long time. I almost bought a Zoya like 3 or 4 times, and then I'd watch reviews, and then I'd think, no, I'm not going to use that. That's not my sound. It's just a weird. It's complicated. It's weird. I don't. That's not going to work. And then Empress very kindly sent me a box full of pedals last week, and they insisted that I try out a Zoya, and I said okay. And my God. This thing over the last 24 hours has actually kind of blown my mind. Now, I should point out that Empress did provide some pedals for use on the channel, but this isn't sponsored. This video is not being paid for in any way, but they did give me the pedals for free. They didn't ask for a video or any live stream. I'm just doing this because this thing is wild. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, it is this, the Empress Zoya. I also have the Echo system here going into it. We'll talk about the rig in a little bit more detail in just a second. But if you don't know about this, this has been out for about 2 years. It's essentially like a modular synthesizer, standalone rig, cabinet simulator. I mean, the number of things that this pedal does is mind-numbing. And it took me a little while to figure out. I had to watch some tutorials. As you can see, the user interface is somewhat interesting, somewhat unique, but I have a maybe firm grasp is not the right way to describe it. I have a mildly adequate grasp of how this works. And so we are, what better way than to show your inadequate understanding of a pedal than to come on live in front of several hundred people for the better part of an hour and a half and talk about it. So, anyways, before we jump into this pedal, though, a couple of quick announcements. We are running 10 50% off coupons. Once they're gone, they're gone. We're trying something a little bit different today. You can get 50% off of the Fretboard Fundamentals course. There's only 10 of those coupons available. And then there's 10 coupons available for the tone course. Once all of those coupons are gone, that's it. No more sales happening, at least for the rest of the week. So, yeah, if you want 50% off the Fretboard Fundamentals or the tone course, that's coming up in the description box or in the chat. If you're watching this later, they're probably all gone, but maybe try it out anyways. So, also, a quick plug for the Inner Circle. The Inner Circle, thank you to everyone who signed up after last week. If you're new here, basically the Inner Circle is my kind of behind-the-scenes community that we spent the last 3 months or so putting together, and it is awesome. Lots of fun conversations and behind the scenes stuff happening over there. I've done some content just for the Inner Circle on things like my live streaming setup and my drum sounds and things like that. A little bit more detail than what you're getting here on the channel. And we also do our monthly Zoom hangs over there. So if you want to get signed up for that, link is in the description box down below. It's $10 a month. All right. So what is the Zoya? Oh, we got a top chat here. Pinewood Guitar is asking, what is your favorite / least favorite bird? For those of you that don't know, it's a bit of an inside joke. My good friend and bandmate, Noah Guthrie, is a bit of a bird watcher. Got into it during the pandemic. And look, man, whatever you're into, not my thing. But Noah loves birds, so I can't help but poke fun at him every time I see him about how much he loves birds. So I don't know. We have a lot of woodpeckers in my backyard, so maybe that's it. That's my favorite bird. So, all right, let's check out this sound I've got pulled up here. Also, this is a Q&A. We're gonna have a little bit of an interactive element. I'm gonna try and put together my own patch here in just a little bit after we explore some of the sounds that are in this thing. And if you know how the Zoya works, basically it's kind of like a choose your own adventure. You can do a multitude of different things. If you have questions, though, you can @ me in the chat at Rhett Shull. You can leave a top chat donation, all that fun stuff. So let's back up a little bit. Right now, these are all stock presets. that we've been messing around with. There is no shortage of interesting sounds in this thing. And I'm going to be real honest. A couple of these, I have no idea how they work. I have no idea what they're doing, but they are very, very inspiring. I like this one a lot. Man. Now, what's interesting about this, if you're new to this pedal, essentially what we have here is a grid layout, and you can add different modules. So each one of these series of colors, these buttons here, are different modules that are doing different things. And that is the extent to which I understand a patch like this. And if you look here, there are pages and pages and pages of modules. This is all the same effects here. Each one of these pages I'm going down, there are 10, 11 pages that go into this sound. So whoever created this at Empress is a bit of a mad genius, because it's crazy. And this is just the Zoya by itself. We're not hearing the ecosystem yet, but I'll turn that on in just a second. That's wild. Now I'm going to turn on the delay in front. You can hear what the delay is doing. This is just kind of a tape echo happening in stereo. If you're not watching this with headphones on, you should, because we are broadcasting in stereo high fidelity today. All right, so I'm going to send that into the front of the Zoya. I was talking to Chris earlier, and to me, this sound, the way I would describe it is like, it's a Stanley Kubrick film where it takes place on a space station that's orbiting Jupiter. It's a space station the size of a city, and you are a citizen on this space station city, and every time there's an announcement from the government that runs the space station, this sound comes over the intercom to let you know that there's an announcement coming, and it's this. Attention, citizens. Right? Doesn't that sound like that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, producer Chris here.
Producer Chris.
I'm still here behind the rig. Getting introduced later and later every stream.
Yeah. People know you're there. You're there. Chris Woods in the top chat. Love the channel, man. Thank you. Keep up the good work. Would love to take a trip to Heartbreaker with you. Thanks. So you have a big one for a Huss and Dalton Dreadnought. Cool. Man, that Huss and Dalton Dread I played a few years ago. I should have bought that guitar, but I didn't. A lot of people think I bought it, but I actually didn't. Now, there's one thing in here, and the title of this live stream is pretty applicable. This is legitimately the most intimidating pedal I've ever played, which is why I avoided it for so long. Like I said, it's been out for a few years, and I've kind of gone back and forth on whether I should buy one. I've had comments, people saying, oh, you should get a Zoya, or what do you think about the Zoya? And I had never played one because I was, quite frankly, kind of scared of it. I mean, if you look at it, it is a bit intimidating. But the way it works is actually pretty simple, but it can do a lot. It's kind of like the game of golf, where it's easy to learn, but it takes a lifetime to master. That's how I think about this pedal. It's pretty simple to learn how to like make sounds happen and to do things. But because it does so much, I mean, I don't know that you would ever maximize the potential. So I'm going to scroll through a preset that I just made here earlier, and then we're going to make one from scratch, and then we'll go and talk about some of my favorite sounds in this thing. So this was one that I called Tom's Vibrato, and this is based off of a sound. If you haven't heard the record, What Kind of Music by Tom Misch and Yusef Days, you should go check it out. The single off that is called Night Rider, and Tom has this killer like vibrato slapback reverb or delay kind of thing, and I was able to sort of approximate it with this kind of sound here. Roll off the tone a little bit. His tone's darker. So So essentially what I've got here is a pitch vibrato, which is this teal line up here. And then we're going into a stereo ping pong delay, which is this purple line here. So these are all individual effects modules here. And then from there, I'm going into like a tone shaper that's rolling off some high end, and we're getting this really nice stereo kind of pitch vibrato. And I can edit the module by clicking each one of these buttons. So in the teal here, this is all the vibrato module. Now these first two squares, these are the inputs because it's stereo. I've got a left input and a right input. And then these last two are my outputs, output left, output right. So I have two different parameters here that I can edit. And the thing that made this pedal click for me was I was watching, I believe it was the Collector Emitter channel, their version of this, or it was the Red Means Recording video. I can't remember which one, where they described it as essentially like each one of these now becomes like a knob on an actual pedal, right? So if you think about this as the vibrato rate, this would be like a vibrato rate pedal on a vibrato rate knob on a vibrato pedal. So what you do is you say, okay, I want the rate a little faster. So you'd hit that and you turn this encoder up and we get a faster modulation rate. Right, and we can slow it down. And then this is the vibrato depth, or they call it width here, but it's basically the depth of the pitch vibrato. Right? So once you look at it that way and you understand that, at least with the effects in this thing, that's how it works, then it kind of starts to make sense. So same thing with my delay here, and there's more squares here because there's more parameters to mess with. So like here's my delay time. I can slow my delay time down. Right? Just like a normal delay pedal. Here is the delay feedback. Same thing, bring that up. But because I wanted that as like a slap, the feedback's pretty low. Right? And then there's delay mod, so on and so forth. And the same thing with this module. This is a, this is still the delay. The tone shaping module is down here. So yeah, pretty simple. We got any questions here? Is this similar to the microcosm? Mom asks. No, it's not. I mean, it can do some similar sounds. If you took some time, I think this is capable of getting some of the same type of sounds that you could get out of the microcosm, but they are fundamentally different pieces of gear. This is, I would barely consider this to be a guitar pedal. I mean, realistically, yes, it's in pedal form, like it's in the box and the foot switches and stuff. But to me, this is almost more like a desktop synthesizer kind of module. The way you interact with it, I wouldn't put this on my pedal board full time. I would leave it off the board because you're interacting with it so much that to be down on the floor the whole time. The microcosm is much more of like a traditional pedal where you've got the controls right there on the face. And yeah, there are some sub menus and stuff you can get into, but it's, for all intents and purposes, it's kind of like this delay pedal here where each parameter is just right on the front, easy to read. So yeah, Frank Zappa would love this pedal. You're probably not wrong, Larry.
It's funny that he asked that. That's the first thing that I thought too was, is this like the microcosm?
Well, there are some, like, if we go back to patch 14 here, this is a microcosm-esque kind of sound, like where it's resampling everything. Let's see, I think this was it. Parts V2 filter. Let's see here. Where it's taking what you're playing and it's resampling it and looping it back on itself. Like that's, oh, that's cool. And what's cool then is to put like your delay in front of that. Do you hear the 4 in there?
Yeah, I found that a lot of those patches either pitch your samples like down a fourth or up a fifth or down a fifth.
Yeah, it's very musical. Like,
yeah, it's not intervals that get in the way like thirds and stuff.
Right. Because then I can even go to the 4 chord. And it sounds, yeah.
When there's playing the 1 down there, like yeah. David Gilmour might like this too.
Yeah, so, and again, there are some people online that understand this pedal inside and out, like whoever it is that created this preset. And I should point out that the guys at Empress, when they emailed me, they said that they sent this loaded with their favorite presets. So I believe, oh, I unplugged my headphones. I believe these are like not your typical presets that come on this thing. Quick plug, we've got a handful of 50% off coupons left for the tone course and a handful of 50% off for the Fretboard Fundamentals course. Once they're gone, they're gone. All right, let's see what else in here. Oh, I want to show you my favorite sound. So this is one I ran into today, and initially this thing really confused me. Okay, so when you first pull it up, I'll turn off the delay here. Nothing is really happening. Oh, and I should point out, I said we were going to dig into the rig a little bit more. Basically, I've got my guitar, my Novo Ceres J here. We're plugged into the Iridium, and I'm using the Iridium for a little bit of amp modeling. So I've got the AC30 sound pulled up, and we're going mono out of the Iridium into the Echo system, and then stereo out of the Echo system into the Zoya, and stereo out of Zoya into the live streaming rig. So right now this patch is on, and I was a little bit confused at first, okay? So I was like, well, there's nothing happening. I don't hear anything. But if you notice, it might be kind of hard to see on camera. Up here, there are 4 lights that are dimmed out, okay? So check out what happens if I, let's see, let's take a chord here. Let's play like an A minor kind of thing. All right, now we've got a loop. And now it clicked. I was like, oh, each one of these is a different loop track. So I can take that and I can go, let's see here. Get kind of a different sound. In fact, let's pull up like let's get a reverse delay from this thing going. We'll get the mix all the way up. We'll get the feedback to where it's oscillating. And then we'll just play like a kind of a vibey. All right, so there's that track. And if you're listening in stereo on headphones, you can hear the panning, right? David's asking, where can I check out the live streaming rig? I did a behind the scenes video on the live streaming rig for the Inner Circle. You can check out the Inner Circle link down below. All right, so now let's add like a, do this kind of thing here. All right, now down here on this bottom row, each one of these is a different parameter to edit. So this is your output, so I can turn the whole output of this situation up or down. Then we have tape speed. We have the tone, the overall tone, so I can make it brighter, more kind of hi-fi, or I make it darker. And tape age. So what I realized was, oh, this is like a 4-track cassette deck where you can basically record 4 tracks to a tape with a tape loop, and then you can modulate the tape loop. And check this out. Ready? And now we're floating and we're orbiting around a black hole. And I can, let's see, I can add some age to the tape here. Add some corrosion.
Do you know how long you can record each loop for?
I don't, actually. But it's crazy. So to me, this is when this pedal started to click, which is like, okay, someone either at Empress or with a third party had the foresight to design a 4-track cassette deck with a tape loop in this pedal, with the tape saturation, with the speed. Let's check this out. We can go. And now it's like a texture. I mean, dude.
That's insane.
And then what we can do, let's see if we'll try to get back to where we started. Alright, so that's where we started, and then I can hit this to basically clear the whole thing. But yeah.
Tim Cobb says he just bought a 4-track. He plans on using it soon. Do you know how he can get cassettes?
Yeah, go on eBay. They're all over eBay.
CVS sells them still.
Yeah, you can still get cassettes pretty easily. Amazon sells them. You can get them everywhere.
Yep.
Let's try this one more time. Let's see if we can get kind of a vibe going here.
It sounds remarkably analog.
Yeah, again, because it's got the tape age and I've got the tone rolled off here. Bring that up a little bit. Let's add some delay and reverb to this. Alright, so that's our second track. Should start here in a minute. Get like a... And then something a little bit more normal sounding. And then now, bring the corrosion down, bring the tape age up, see what it sounds like. I mean, that's pretty sick. But still, my favorite thing is...
Yeah.
Dude, that is so cool.
Yeah.
Or you could go less drastic with it. You could go back to kind of where you had it. And then, yeah, you can do fine-tune adjustments here. Try and get it back to... Okay, so here's where we started, in E major, right there. So then you can modulate it just by, like...
Wow.
Now it's, like, kind of in C sharp. It's, like, in between C sharp and C, so I can... fine-tune it here. There we go. I mean...
Close enough.
Close enough. James Berg in the top chat, how do you usually listen to music? Streaming, vinyl CDs, what's the... what was the last record you bought? I listen to a lot of... I just stream mostly. The last record I bought, I went and bought a bunch of vinyl about 3 weeks ago. I got a bunch of Black Keys stuff. I got a Sunhouse record. I finally bought like Pet Sounds on vinyl. I'm trying to take and just pick up a bunch of my favorite albums that I listen to a lot and get them on vinyl.
Someone asked, how does it handle overdrive pedals? Let me go grab one.
Well, I can drive the Iridium here, so I can
nice.
We can get some drive from the Iridium. And we get some delay going in. Yeah. Dude. This is my favorite sound so far that I've discovered in this thing. And this is a stock preset.
Wow.
And what's interesting now is after we've modulated it that much, like now we're back sort of where we started and it sounds different.
Yeah. I mean, there's so many sounds in there that I would immediately be able to use in like a production setting.
Yeah, that's what I figured out. And my concern with this, and the reason I was so intimidated with it to begin with, was I thought that it was just like, and I thought incorrectly, but it was like just a noise machine. You know, you just put it together and made weird noises with it, but it's actually very musical. A lot of these settings that we've found in here so far are very, very musical. So let's find something else here.
And I mean, a lot of the stuff that we're pulling up right now, like alone on its own, sounds very like film score, very like space.
Right.
But you could totally use those in so many different contexts.
Yeah, and it even is its own synth. So like the last preset in here is called what is it called here? Am I Conscious? And this is a generative modular synth patch, which means that basically this thing on its own is generating signal, it's modulating that signal, it's routing that signal and affecting that signal, and it's essentially playing itself based off of a set of parameters that whoever programmed this patch programmed into the pedal. And it sounds like this. So this is the pedal just playing itself, which is wild.
So does anything that your input does that
No.
change? No?
No.
You just play over it?
No, it's not even passing my signal through it. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's literally just a generative synth.
So is it only CV and stuff, or is it MIDI as well?
It does have MIDI. It's got MIDI inputs and outputs. It came with two adapter cables here because it's a 1/8 inch MIDI cable.
So you could have a generator thing like that running and send MIDI out to a drum machine. You could send MIDI out to other synths.
Yeah, or you could modulate it with MIDI. Like,
that's insane.
It's just wild, man. And the reality is, like, this is way above my pay grade. Like, I'm a guitar player that's interested in weird sounds and effects pedals and stuff. This really, like, a lot of this stuff is for, like, proper synthesists that, you know, are deep into the modular world.
Yeah.
But for the guitar players out there, you can do some cool stuff. So let's create a patch. Let's go, like, kind of guitar-centric here. So, all right, this is a blank slate. This is basically nothing set up here. So, as you can tell, right now, I've got no input and no output happening here. My signal's not coming through at all. One more plug. We got a handful. I got 7 coupons left for Fretboard Fundamentals. If you want 50% off, use code 50F15 at checkout. And I think just a handful left for the tone course. So yeah, check this out. All right. So first thing I have to do is put in a module, an input and output module. So what I do is I hit a button here. I go up to interface modules on this screen here. I'm going to click audio input, and we're going to keep the color peach, and it's stereo input, so left and right. I'm going to hit done. So now what we should see is as I play my guitar, these two blocks should start lighting up, which they do. So I know I have signal coming to this module. Now I want to get signal out, so I'm going to go down here, and I'm going to put another interface module, audio output. We'll put the same color. We'll do peach and output stereo. Yep, done. All right, but as you see, I'm still only getting signal on my input. I'm not getting it on my output. So what I have to do is connect them. And the way you do that is connect this to that. There's my left channel, and that to that. There's my right channel. Now I have input and output, and you can hear my pedal.
And that delay's in front of the Zoya, right?
Yeah, the delay's in front of the Zoya, right?
Okay.
So the delay is sending into the Zoya, and I can get, let's see.
That's so cool how you like patch them together like you're putting cables through it.
Yeah, and that's
cool.
that's what people mean by saying like, oh yeah, it's like a modular synth.
I mean, or I guess you could think of it also like you're sort of building your own little pedal board inside of a pedal.
Exactly, and that's what we're gonna do right now. So I don't know in the chat, somebody let me know what kind of effect we should put in here first. Is it a delay? Is it a vibrato? I mean, let's actually see what we've got. Let's do, so I'm gonna add a module here. Let's do effect modules. I've got tone control, delay with mod, ping pong delay, overdrive and distortion, fuzz, compressor, gate, plate reverb, hall reverb, room reverb, ghost verb, reverb light, phaser, chorus, vibrato, flanger, tremolo, envelope filter, ring modulator, and a cabinet sim. Which is actually nuts that all that comes in this one pedal. I haven't looked at all those yet.
I see.
All right, chorus. Let's do chorus.
Phaser and flanger have a lot of both.
Phaser and flanger. All right, let's do a phaser then. Let's do phaser. So what I'll do is I'll scroll down here to phaser and name phaser, color white, channels. I want to do, because we're in stereo here, so I'm going to do 2 in, 2 out. Number of stage, 4 stage. Okay, cool. So hit done. And now we have a phaser, but turn off my delay here. As you can tell, we're skipping over the phaser right now because the audio is coming in here and it's going straight to my output module. So what I need to do is, and you can, a handy little trick here is you can see, like if I click this, you can see where it's connected to. So there's 1, there's 2, right? So what I need to do is break that connection. So I'm going to do that and I'm gonna hit shift and trash. Oh, and I just deleted my input module. Okay, sorry. Put this back. Like I said, I just got this thing, so I'm still learning it. But all right. Okay, so there's my input module. So now what I need to do is connect my input to the phaser. So input here to here. There's my left. Input here to here. There's my right. And now you can see the outputs of the phaser lighting up down here. Now I'm going to connect that to my output. So out here. Out here. And now we have phaser.
Yeah.
Right? Actually a pretty nice sounding phaser too.
Oh,
so
somebody says there's an undo button.
Yeah, there is. It's right here. But man, I got 500 people watching me. I'm a little under the gun here.
Stressed.
I'm stressed out. So here we have the parameters we can edit. So I've got 4 different things I can edit because here's these first 2 are my inputs. These last 2 are my outputs. So here I've got phaser rate, I've got phaser resonance, phaser width, and phaser mix. But I actually kind of like where that's at right now.
So if you ran out of space on that,
you can page over.
Those parameters would go to the next page and you'd be able to find them on the next page?
Yeah, or you could move the module to the next page. And I think there's like 15 or 16 pages you can have. And that's like those bigger patches that we were playing earlier are that big. They're like 10 or 11, 12 pages worth of stuff.
Because some of the modules have like 5 or 6 buttons that go with them.
Or you run out of space. Like, because you'll see once I add another effects module here, it's going to take up another like 2 rows of buttons here.
Right,
so you'll need
so many parameters.
Yeah, exactly. So yes, I know it's pronounced flanger. That's a cheap joke, calling it a flanger. All right, cool. So we got a phaser. What's next? Will it do a Qtron sound? Let's see. All right, so the one thing I haven't figured out yet is how to bypass effects once they're up, but that's all right. We'll do a phaser into a Qtron, so why the hell not? I'm going to add effects module, envelope filter, We go 2 in, 2 out. We'll do bandpass. Yeah, we'll do bandpass filter, direction up. All right. All right, so again, just because the module's in there, we have to connect it. So what I have to do is take this output here and break the connection, here and here, break the connection. Now we have no output, so I have to go here to input, input, output, output, and then bam. That's kind of sharp sounding. So let's bring the sensitivity up. Oh, here we go. There.
So Charlie Sassi in the chat, he says to bypass it, you either have to turn off the pedal or you can put a VCA or mixer module in there, and that'll allow you to control whether it's on or off.
Yeah, and that's the other part of this pedal is getting into the LFOs and the VCAs. All of like the synth stuff that you use to control effects like this, it's crazy. Like for instance, you could modulate this with an LFO and have it do different things. You can modulate the phaser with an LFO or make your own tremolo. Like you can do.
So you can modulate the parameters of the pedals or the effects with with other things. That's really cool. So it's like having a pedal board, and then it's like having just another guy down there and like turning the knobs for you.
Yeah, and that's like getting into the modular synth thing. That's what it's about. I mean, that's kind of a funky, you know.
I mean, staying on the Tom Misch topic.
Yeah, it's getting back on the Tom Misch train. So yeah, then let's see. Let's edit this patch. Let's say we didn't want to envelope filter. Let's go to edit. I can change the name. Anyways, all right, so let's go back. I want to explore some more presets here. So I'm not going to change that. What were some other ones we had on our list?
A lot of people were saying fuzz, chorus.
Oh yeah, let's hear the fuzz. Actually, I haven't played the fuzz yet. All right, so do interface, input, stereo, done. Output, white. All right, and then let's add a fuzz. Here we go. Done. Fuzz red. Model E fuzzy. Burly. Scoopy. Ugly. Let's go with
ugly, man. Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ugly. All right. So this is mono in. So I'm just going to go left there, right there. So we're just basically going. Now, again, keep in mind we have the fuzz after the Iridium. So we're hearing the fuzz DI. So it's going to sound a little funky. I mean, it is as advertised. It sounds ugly.
Yeah.
You know? All right, let's delete that module. Let's get something else in here. Effects.
How do the reverbs sound?
Yeah, let's explore some of the reverbs. Let's try the ghost reverb. Ghost verb. We're gonna do stereo in and out. So we got Okay. Done. Bam, 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 bam. So here's our stereo verb. So different parameters.
So is that
feedback.
a plate verb?
I don't know what that is. It's probably like a Hall.
It sounds a lot like that the ultra shear pedal you have.
Right. So what we should do then to replicate the ultra shear
Vibrato.
is put a vibrato after it.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing that's cool is you can take this and basically recreate other pedals that you might have. Right. So if we take, like, my favorite pedal from last year was the Von Gun Ultra Shear, which is a really great plate reverb. In fact, there is a, yeah, I think this might be like a, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take the modulation completely out of this. Bring the mix up. It's a nice sounding reverb. Now let's add a vibrato in. Effects, vibrato. We're gonna do 2 in, 2 out. Waveform, sine, triangle, swung. All right, so we'll do a sine waveform. Done. And now what we need to do is break that connection, break that connection. Oh, wait. Oh, what's happening? Oh, no. Oh, wait, I know what's happening. Okay.
I'm only getting right
Yeah,
here.
I am too. Hold on. Bam. Bam.
Wow, it's that easy?
It's just that easy. Let's bring our rate down. So now we've got the vibrato modulating the reverb.
Yeah.
Bring the width up. How long did it take you to get this good on the pedal? About an hour of watching a few YouTube demos. And I'm not very good on the pedal at all. I know how to make basic connections, and that's about it.
But there are hours and hours and hours of YouTube tutorials on this thing.
Yeah, it's crazy. So now let's do this. Let's add a funky lo-fi delay in front of it. Yeah, a little bit crushing. Now, if you wanted to, we could do that without this pedal, right? So let's add, because right now it's telling me how much DSP I'm using, and that's the one limitation about the Zoya is the amount of DSP that you have. So with those two effects in full stereo, I'm using 50% DSP. So let's add a, let's see, let's move this around. I can go up here, move module down here, go here to move module down here. So now we've got some room to play with. And I can add, let's put a delay in front of it. So we'll go effect modules. How about ping pong delay to get some nice stereo happening. So we'll do 2 in, 2 out. Type, we'll do old tape ping pong. Done. All right. And the delay and like reverb algorithms are based off of the algorithms that are like in their pedals, like this Empress, this ecosystem or the reverb, things like that. So it's the same algorithms. Now, but again, we haven't made the connections yet, right? So we need to, so this is where it gets kind of complicated because now I've got these different modules on this one page. So how do I remember like where this is connected? Well, it shows up there. So I'm going to break this connection. Bam. I'm going to break that connection. And then I'm going to make it here and yep. And here. So now I've got going into my delay. And I can see my outputs are right here. I'm going to go there, there. And now we've got our delay going into our reverb, into our vibrato.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to bring the delay time down.
Oh, so apparently the vibrato, or some effects take up more DSP.
Yeah.
So like vibrato takes up more DSP than just an LFO.
Right.
Okay.
Right, because an LFO is a very simple thing.
Yeah.
Right? A VCA is a very simple thing. Doesn't take this, when you start getting into these effects, you're running like algorithms and you're using a lot of CPU to manage those algorithms. So
were any of those patches before, like getting close to maxing out?
Yeah, in fact, a lot of those patches are like 98, 99% CPU.
Wow.
So essentially what I've done now is I've taken 3 pedals from a pedal board and I've combined them into one rig here. And I've still got, like, that's only 68% CPU. So I could add probably like a cab sim, or I could add an overdrive or a fuzz on there.
So what do you think about the UI?
I actually think it's relatively simple to understand once you get like the grid pattern and once you understand like how to patch things together in and out. I can see where this gets complicated is when you start having pages and pages of stuff and you start forgetting, oh wait, where am I sending that LFO to? Wait, what is this VCA controlling? And that was what when I watched Red Mean's recording, his view of it, he was using the Arturia Micro Freak, a little synth, and he was creating these really complex patches, and that's what he kept saying is like he actually has a notebook that he keeps track and writes his patches down so he can remember where stuff is. So I don't know. I mean, it's not like the most user-friendly thing ever, but it's not as complicated as it looks because, again, the reason this was so intimidating to me was I looked at it for years, and a lot of the stuff that I heard online and saw people play with it, it was just crazy out there kind of sounds. But it's pretty usable. So one output of the vibrato is going to both left and right. Oh, okay. Thank you. You're right. So I need to take that and break that connection. Okay, so now we have... Oh yeah. Now it's way more.
So is there any way to recall the patches without using the knob? Like, do the switches like switch you through patches?
Yeah, this middle one will scroll, and then this left one will select, and you can change whether it scrolls up or down. So you can't have it like on the pedal board and like bank through stuff.
Yeah.
But I think the idea here is you set your sounds up ahead of time if you're gonna have it on your pedal board. All right, cool. So we've only got a handful of 50% off coupons for Fretboard Fundamentals. I think there's only 5 left, so get those at the link in the chat. Same thing for the tone course. Check that out, 50% off there. You can use a micro SD card with the mini SD adapter. Yes, I have that right here. Came along with. You can save and load patches that way.
Yeah, earlier somebody was saying there's a whole subreddit for the Zoya and people upload their patches and stuff.
Yeah, I need to dig in. Because again, I am an infant when it comes to understanding this thing. I'm sure there's people that know this far, far better than I. So then what we can do is we can just save this patch. So I'm going to hit Shift, Save, Preset 61, and I can go back and name it later if I want. But let's go back and explore some other sounds here. Here's one called Tape Return. See what this sounds like. So that's off. Weird. Wilson, do I plan on use this in my studio or live rig? Well, probably not my live rig, honestly. I think to me, the real strength of a pedal like this is like, ooh, that's nice. Having it on your desk and interacting with it in real time. So right here, this is using 75% CPU. And see, look how many different pages there are in this. It's like, I don't know what all this is doing. What is this here? Yeah, here's a CV output. Here's more CV. Like, so it's got internal control voltages to control things, different parameters. That's cool, man. I can't wait to use this with other instruments.
You want to throw a bass through there?
Yeah, we could. Let's see. Micro sounds. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, it's like you can just get lost in this thing. We go back to the grains one. This is one of my favorite sounds. Shall we try bass?
I say yes.
Oh, okay. And unplug myself again. Happens every stream. I unplug my headphones. Hey, it's still in tune. It's amazing what humidity in this room will do when you actually have it.
That humidifier. Whoa.
What even is that?
That's really cool.
Nuts. Here's one called Scatter. Adjust my Iridium here, get a little bit more bass friendly. Yeah. Dude. If see, is that clipping my preamp? My god. Some of these are way louder than the others. Oh, I got an idea. All right, let's go back to our favorite airport loop here. So that's not going to be in time, but
yeah. I was thinking about pressing the button in time.
It's a team effort.
Yeah. I guess that would give away where I'm sitting though, and we can't give that away.
We can't?
Nope.
So what I'm trying to do, I just want to like stack a couple of things here, and then we're gonna get weird. Let's try a filter delay. See what this sounds like. All right. Now let's make this sound nothing like a bass.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's kind of in time.
And now that's like a... Dude.
It just got an extra beat.
Yeah, exactly.
Ah.
Someone who watches Adam Neely tell me what time signature that's in. So we're gonna roll the tone off, actually brighten it up a little bit. And I'm gonna add some tape age. Dude.
Wow.
That's a bass. All right, now let's go opposite way. And now it's the moodiest. Like... Oh, God.
Third time's the charm.
Third time's the charm. The question is, can you automatically change it with MIDI? I'm sure you could, actually. And I'm sure you could modulate this tape speed with CV or with an LFO. And here's where we started. And, like, let's say I didn't like that... what key was this in, A?
Thanks for the donation, Andrew Lynn. He says, thanks for the videos, man. Looking forward to seeing your studio complete.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate that, man. Thank you. Let's get a little texture going up at the top here.
There's only 3 coupons left for Fretboard Fundamentals, by the way.
Okay, cool. Yeah, 3 left for 50% off. Once they're gone, they're gone. There's no other sales happening this week, so once they're gone, they're gone. All right, and then let's just send it into outer space. Ready? Roll off some of that high end. Dude, this is so cool. That's a little bit more musical there.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. I could just leave this pedal set on this setting. Airport loop SV2, what that's called. And there it is. Wow. Empress Zoya, yep. Well, there you go, everyone. That is the most intimidating pedal that has actually turned out to become one of my favorite pedals. Sky, this is the Empress Zoya. It's been out for a few years. I'm late to the party here. I'm definitely not the first person to talk about this online. But I was scared. I was intimidated of it, and I stayed away from it for a long time. And I think there's a lesson to be learned there, which is maybe sometimes it's worth embracing things that you're a little apprehensive of because it may surprise you. Now, this is a somewhat expensive pedal. I'm not telling everyone to go out and drop all your money on the Zoya. It is really cool. If you're interested in this kind of thing, which is sort of really, let's go back to ACAM here, a really sort of broad inspiration box. In this category of pedal, I would put like the Mood from Chase Bliss. I would put the Microcosm from Hologram. There's a few other pieces, maybe the Night Sky from Strymon, even though it's a little bit less generative than this. Just these sort of out there kind of just inspiration machines. If you're into that kind of thing, the Zoya really surprised me. It really did. I didn't think it was something that I would like, but I was very, very wrong. And it's something that I'm excited to continue to learn and try new things with, especially with, getting back to building my modular synth, all that kind of stuff. I'm really, really excited. So huge thanks to Empress once again for sending it out. Again, this was not a directly sponsored live stream. I'm not getting paid for this, but they did give me the Zoya and the ecosystem and a few other pedals. So thank you to them for that. The guys who designed this are just geniuses. Absolutely mad. I mean, it's an entire modular synth in a pedal. It's just insane what it does. And it can be an entire pedal board. It can be, most of a rig. If you had even just this, the Iridium and the Zoya together, I mean, you could put those two things on a board and have a whole rig ready to go. Maybe a MIDI controller too for this to give you a little bit more control over your functions. But if you've got the time and you're a tweaker, you like to spend time messing around with stuff, messing around with sounds, this might be something worth checking out. And they've been out for a while too, so there's probably some used ones floating around. Although used gear prices right now are insane. So we'll take a couple more questions here. You guys got questions? You can highlight me in the chat.
I've been seeing this one a few times. Have you messed with the Simplifier DLX at all? I'm going to get that over the Iridium.
I have not. I don't have any experience with the Simplifier. What will be a similar but cheaper synthy pedal for amateur noodling? Well, there's not really anything I would say that's similar to this in terms of its layout and its capabilities and what it does. But if you're looking for some synth type pedals, the Maris Enzo is really cool. The C4 synth from Source Audio is really cool. It can do some of the types of things this can do. Plus, it has a software editor. If you're looking for that kind of thing, this doesn't have a software editor, and I have seen some complaints online that really the only way to interact with it is with the pedal directly. But I actually think that's kind of cool. Does an engineer come with this pedal, Larry? No, you are the engineer, and it's up to you to choose your own adventure. Mr. Mooch, who won the pedal board? We don't know. They have not responded. The winner has not responded to their email, so I think we are going to pick a new winner, but I need to check with my person who's running the giveaway on that. So we will announce the pedal board winner very soon. How do you see yourself using it? Would it end up on your live board? Probably not my live board, unless I was touring with well, actually, here's where I would use it. How I would use it live would be to replace and consolidate a few pedals. So for instance, like the patch that we pulled up that was the delay into the reverb into the vibrato. Well, that's 3 pedals that I've consolidated into one on the Zoya. So saving pedal board space would be something, an approach for me, just for a live pedal board perspective. That's how I would go about using it. Also, the Chase Bliss Mood, I ended up using a lot when I was in Hamburg last November playing on a record. We ended up using the Mood a lot on that record, and just kind of the out there sounds and stuff it would do. So I could see a place for some of these sounds in my live set, but they would be sort of, those type of weird sounds would be kind of few and far between, and just sort of statement or textural kind of things. But yeah, if I was going to implement the Zoya into my live rig, that's how I would do it. But for me, I see this primarily more as like a desktop. I'm working on something and I want to experiment and explore and get some weird sounds. That's, I think, what this does for me. I guess when the studio work will pick back up, as soon as I can find a contractor to come hang some LVLs. It's a tale as old as time. People will not respond. That's not true. I've got 2 people coming to look at the job this week, so hopefully we'll know more by this time next week. There's some documents you can get via Drive that go over the modules and how they work. All right, thanks, Charlie. I'll check that out. Appreciate that. Last call, 50% off Fretboard Fundamentals. I think there's only 1 or 2 of those left. 50F15 at checkout. And I think we got a handful of 50% off the tone course coupons as well. So snap those up while you can get them. And check out the Inner Circle. We've been having a lot of fun over there over the last week or so. So, and we've got another Zoom live hang coming up with the Inner Circle pretty soon. Those are a lot of fun. We end up staying up here for 2 or 3 hours. With a handful of really cool people, and we just chat and have a bunch of really cool in-depth conversations. And I've posted some behind-the-scenes content. For those of you that are interested in how my live streaming rig works, I did a behind-the-scenes video kind of taking the Inner Circle crew through my live streaming rig, so you can find out all that down below. It's $10 a month. Have I messed with the Walrus Mako R1? I've not, but it's definitely on my list, Michael. Definitely on my list. Would this replace the Specular Tempest on your HX Stomp fly rig? It could. It very well could, especially if I could get the Stomp and the Zoya to talk to one another via MIDI, have the Stomp kind of control the Zoya. That would be really, really cool. Did I end up buying that Gretsch Duo Jet at Guitar Center? I did not. Taxes are coming up, and I got to pay for the studio build, so I'm going to have to wait on that guitar, unfortunately. All right, everyone. Well, that's going to do it for today. Appreciate y'all hanging out. We'll see you guys next week on Tuesday Live. And, yeah, check out the Zoya. See you guys.